Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I'm always curious, I don't know if you guys are, about listening to the chief engineer of different trucks and how they see it, how they perceive it, and all the thought process went through, and they brought the truck from sketch to reality. And so that was interesting that Chief Engineer Mike Swears gave a presentation. I recorded it, and it's here for you. We can go ahead and watch the video where he explains the truck right now.
Good morning, everyone. I am excited about being here. I know everybody comes up on stage so they're excited, but I am so stoked because this means we're really close to getting this truck out and put in my driveway. So with this truck, I'm just going to cover this morning a little bit about the development history of the truck. Ken did a great job going over what's in the truck. Joe was gracious enough to tell me that I could have a few minutes, and he emphasized a very few minutes to talk about it. So let's get into it. The truck development started with our new platform, and I dispatched 42 of our R&D members from North America to Japan, including myself, for 2 years to work on this new platform. We took all the region's requirements by bringing engineers in from across the globe in our R&D centers and brought them together. And the task I was given is take 3 of our platforms and make 1 platform out of it. So what that allowed us to do is take the best of all the platforms we had with some of the new technology we wanted to put into it and make what we think I think is the best platform out there. And what I mean by the best is taking the towing capability of Tundra, taking cumulative off-road capability of Land Cruiser, blending those together. And I was super excited to get started on this. It sounded like a great task. And then we started working on it, and I lost most of my hair. It was super, super difficult. But it was a great learning experience for all of us, and we really did some interesting things on this platform. As you take a look at it, unfortunately you can't drive it today, but when you drive it, I think you can understand what's behind it in some of the areas that we managed to improve. So what do we do with this new foundation? How do you make the next generation badass truck out of this? Well, we gave it to our North American design staff. And our engineers over here are truck guys. I like to pride myself as a truck guy. This is my truck, my daily driver that I have here and there. And the model from the beginning that I gave them is be the customer. Don't just be the engineer, but make a truck, design a truck, and engineer a truck that you want to drive, that you want to park in your parking lot. And as you walk around the truck, you can see the influence of having truck guys actually design a truck and some of the little details that they pay attention to. And of course, we worked on power performance. You heard Ken talk about that. We worked on towing capability. We worked on confident natural, and if you talk to me, you're going to hear this term a lot. Confident natural ride and handling, and fuel economy. So we heard a lot about fuel economy. We did all those type of developments. We've set what we think is best in class. But they also worked on the small details. And what I mean by the small details is things that, like I said, when you walk around, you'll notice. But my favorite example of it, and I'll give you one quick one, is the engineer that's responsible for our accelerator pedal, and our pedals came to me and he says, I want to change your accelerator pedal. Now understand, when I said we changed every part in this vehicle, that wasn't the original intention. We have standardized A pedals that we use as part of our TNG part lineup, and he said, yeah, I want to change it. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, he goes, it's got a little deflection in it, and the stroke is too long. I want to change the armature to make it more rigid, and I want to shorten the stroke. And I'm like, go for it. And he did this. And again, you don't get to drive it today, but what I will say is, when you tip into that A pedal, you don't get the deflection. It's an immediate and linear response. that you really can feel in the seat of your pants. You heard me already talk about a few challenges on this. We did change every part in this truck. We developed, our production engineering group developed new laser welding processes. We introduced, for the first time, our truck mixed materials and aluminum body structure. And what's going on right now, and has been going on for the past year, is while we're building production, we are changing the way we assemble this truck. We're completely changing the layout of the plant. But that wasn't the challenge. The challenge was doing that during a pandemic. So if you had asked me back in January of 2020, could we ever design a truck from home? I would have laughed. I've been in the industry a long time, and we just don't have the equipment to do that. But the pandemic forced us to come up with new methods of designing a truck, developing a truck, and communicating to be able to do this while you work from home. And you know, the communication aspect of it was something that you didn't really imagine, but how do you review drawings? How do you look at CAD data when you're not face to face and you got a giant screen in front of you? And I'm an old guy, so I like paper in front of me, and there's no paper anymore. So we actually introduced paperless drawing systems. We're approving drawings really over the cloud. It was truly a unique experience, and I think it made us much more efficient in our design and development. And I think my engineering staff snuck in a few Easter eggs in here that I wasn't aware of this either. So please try to find those. Finally, I'll wrap up by talking about our truck heritage. And I think when people ask, well, why is your truck different than anybody else's? Our trucks are different because of Toyota Truck Heritage. Our indestructible or overbuilt QDR. And what QDR is: quality, durability, reliability. We really prided ourselves on that. And it sounds like a pitch, but it's not. Our requirement for our next vehicle, we don't change them very often, but when we change them, the requirement is the next generation has to be better than the last generation. And I already mentioned on our platform, we didn't just improve Tundra, but by combining these three platforms into one, I've got Land Cruiser heritage in my Tundra now. And that really gets me excited. So one of the things we did on the upper body side is we wanted to understand, for this truck, we know what our truck's capable of. We've heard our customers say what they like, but we really wanted to understand the good, the bad, and the ugly, what's in our truck. And sales division called me up as we were working on this truck, and they said, hey, we got a customer, we got a customer, it's about to put 1 million miles on us, 2007. You interested in the truck? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the engine? You're going to tear the engine apart? You know, what about the rear diff? What about the drive shaft? I'm like, I want to see the front seat of this truck. I mean, can you imagine sitting in a truck for 1 million miles? What's that going to look like? We brought it back, and we did tear this truck apart, every nut and bolt of this truck. And one of the things we saw that we knew we had to fix or improve is the rear deck of our truck showed its use and abuse. So as we started looking at it as what is a solution for a guy who uses his truck. I use my truck, I live on a farm, I use my truck as a truck, but this customer actually ran hot shot for the oil industry. So he was towing or hauling 70% of the time, and his bed of his truck, the rest of the truck looked pretty good, the bed of the truck looked like he was hauling and towing most of the time. It was done up, it was scratched up. So we looked at some of the materials out there. Now we know there's high strength steel solutions, there's aluminum solutions, we've all seen the bed wars that are out there. But high strength steel doesn't meet the corrosion requirements that we have for ourselves. And aluminum durability doesn't meet what a Toyota customer would throw at it, the customer like Victor. So our solution was to go back to something we knew, and that's the composite deck. Now we changed the material of the composite deck, But what we got out of it is that composite material is lighter than steel. It's more durable than aluminum. It won't corrode and it won't dent. So we think this is a good solution to improving our vehicle, that making that next generation better than the last generation. And then we looked at areas in the truck that we've never had any complaints about. And I'm a visual guy, so I bring show and tell with me. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to have a little show and tell. Thanks, Josh. I'm going to talk about our transfer case. We use a BorgWarner transfer case. We use one in our current truck. Our next generation, we use a BorgWarner transfer case. So does one of our competitors. In that transfer case, and when I talk about QDR, what makes my truck, our truck, different than my competitor's truck, this is their transfer case drive chain. They have a BorgWarner transfer case, I have a BorgWarner transfer case. They look similar, they come off the same line. This is 1 1/4 inch drive chain. In the 1-ton truck, they use 1 1/2 inch drive chain. My current Tundra that's on the road right now, I use 1 1/2 inch drive chain. But we increase the power and performance of this truck, the capability of this truck. My standard for my transfer case is 12 times greater, my durability, than my competition's. So what does that mean? As I increase torque output of this vehicle, I had to change my chain to this. This is 1 3/4 inch drive chain. So you can imagine going from this to this, the sprockets have to change, the planetary gear carrier has to change, all that has to change. Does it weigh more? Yeah, you can come up and feel it. It definitely weighs more. Does it cost more? Absolutely. So why do we do it? Well, that's our QDR. That's our truck heritage. I have to make sure that my customers' expectations are exceeded and it meets our requirements internally. My goal is to make sure that our customers can continue bragging about their trucks going 500,000 miles, 600,000 miles or more. And that's really our philosophy of development. And I got Josh going back there to get off the stage. So I'll leave you with this. This picture here, when I said that I am a customer, I am a customer. This is my family farm. This is my family's vehicle lineup. We're a truck family. Not only do I want to have a vehicle that I'm proud to park in my driveway, but I have a bunch of customers in my own household that are pretty critical of their trucks, and I hear about it all the time. So I truly believe we built the best truck out there. And, you know, there's different tastes and everybody has that. We've made different interiors for it. But when we talk about Toyota truck heritage, this truly, I believe, is the next generation badass truck. So take a look at it and let me know what you think.
There you go. There's some more in-depth videos on the 2022 Toyota Tundra. I'm putting together an entire playlist. I have several videos. I have my likes, dislikes. I have chief designer, chief engineers. I got what's new. I got lots of stuff going on. Check the playlist up over here. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.